Okay, so today's video is sort of like a community reaction video, but before getting to post that, we actually got the day to download, so we get to see the banners as well as the new sort of like superhero category. And just wanted to pop in here and actually confirm this is pretty sick, because they are in fact like a DBS hero category. This is really cool. So it's going to be all the heroes that you see in Dragon Ball Super, which makes this category so much better. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be like an actual just like literal Dragon Ball Super superhero category, because we just don't have that many characters, you know, for that yet, really. So it is dope to see that it is properly like anything from Dragon Ball Super. So that makes this category a lot better. But we do have the banners, and that isn't necessarily good news, because that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Also, they put Pan over with Piccolo, which is interesting. I mean, I know that she spends like the whole movie with him, but like, you know, but also there's a couple of things here to note. So Gohan is on Piccolo's banner, AGL Gohan from 2019, who's not been EZA'd, and unless they're going to surprise us with the EZAs during the celebration, we know it's Gogeta and Broly. So I think it's honestly copium to think that Cell and that Gohan are getting EZAs anytime during the celebration. But anyways, they are here on these banners, likely not getting EZA'd. And now that they're here on these banners, likely not part of the anniversary. Which if they're not part of the anniversary, then the anniversary is probably not Cell Saga either. So who knows what the anniversary is going to be. I kind of thought these guys might be coming up on their EZA, and I really was starting to lean towards a Cell Saga anniversary, you know, because again, their comments of it's a character you've never seen before and all this stuff. So anyways, these banners are awful, dude. Like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta with a Trunks and Goten that are just like pretty subpar, with a 2019 perfect Cell. I mean, the AGL Cell's good. The AGL Cell is good. The STR Goku's good. But like in the Gogeta still has the like uses, but these are the New Year's banners, man. These are LR New Year's banners. Like, what are they doing, bro? I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I'm actually pretty baffled. But this video is me discussing the community reaction for quite a while, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm gonna let that start right now. Oh, actually, one more thing. It looks like the banners drop at, what is this, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. EST tomorrow, and that's going to be for both versions, it looks like. So there's a positive that releases it like a semi-normal time. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so for the first time ever, I want to do a community reaction type video. Actually, I want to do a little more than that even, because not only do I want to talk about everyone else's reaction, I want to kind of talk about mine now that I'm sort of separated from that sort of initial knee-jerk reaction to Beast not being a transformation, Beast just being inactive, Orange Piccolo being a giant transformation and not a proper active. Or not active, but not a proper transformation. At least it's a transformation though. At least I get to use Orange Piccolo in the game and actually attack with him. And then also, of course, the actual community reaction part. I just want to see kind of how people are feeling. I did have a bit of a tweet here. How are we feeling about the Gohan and Piccolo and the Dokkan movie / New Year celebration, with almost 600 replies in 3 hours, which is just kind of crazy. And then I also have Truth and Garesh's Twitter pulled up here, which we'll take yeah, Truth giving us a bit of yeah, we're going to talk about it all. So first off, now that I am 12 hours, you know, from that initial reveal, that initial sort of, wait, what are they doing? I don't think it's as bad as it initially seemed, for sure. And I definitely don't want to take away from the obvious hard work they put into all the animations, because, you know, and that's not really the thing that we're all worried about or upset about anyway. The animations, they killed them. I saw some people that were a little underwhelmed by the actual Orange Piccolo animations. I think they're fine. He's a giant character. That's what he did in his giant form. And so I totally think they're fine. And his transformation into Orange is freaking incredible. And all of his animations when he's just like Power Awakened Piccolo look great. So nothing wrong with that. And honestly, the Beast Gohan, and I know a lot of people, you know, are gonna be like, why are you still calling him Beast Gohan? He still is Beast. Beast is in there. Beast, honestly, that Gohan probably has the best looking animation period in the game. That is the best looking active skill. For the longest time, I've said it's probably the year 5. I still have really enjoyed the Year 5 Gogeta. That's been one of my personal favorite animations in the game, even still now 3 years out. I think it's finally been replaced with this Beast Gohan active skill, because I cannot get over how well animated that. Like, I've watched it probably 20 more times now, and I can't get over just how well animated that active is. It looks absolutely incredible. But the big thing here, and the big reaction to, not only are they not transformation, it was sort of a double whammy, right? Because a lot of people looked at their kits and said, wait, what? And it's not so much that they're bad. Like, they're definitely going to be a top 10 unit. Like, I fully believe, especially Piccolo, but even Gohan, they're going to be top 10 units. Now, I didn't necessarily say top 5. I don't know. We've had some really good units released this year. But I think the problem here, to put this into better perspective, and I'll probably see this with some of the replies as well, is that it's Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo. It's the first proper new characters, without jumping hoops and doing all these theory crafting of all the different characters you can make in Dokkan. It's the first proper new characters of the new movie, besides the other characters that came out from this movie, like the Gammas, that we've had in 4 years. Like, the last new anything Dragon Ball related was literally 4 years ago with Dragon Ball Super Broly. So you wait 4 years for new characters, you get new forms like Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan, and you want them first off to be playable in this game that we all play and spend hundreds of hours on, and all money and everything. But then secondly, you want them to be good. You want them to be definitively like the best units in the game. And this is a single player game. The power creep thing that people are weird about, like, power creep is going to happen. They want to incentivize you to summon. Animations are only going to take a character so far. I think they can take characters a pretty long ways, right? Like, that Beast Gohan active skill looks beautiful. What, I mean, why else are you playing the game a lot of the time if you're not to watch some of the actives, for sure, or not actives, but animations in general, right? You like seeing your favorite characters do cool things on your phone, right? Like, that's a lot of it. But then the side note, or the side piece to it, is you also want their kits to be good. And you want them to be really good. So why hold back? Why hold back? Now, my guess is it's because of the 8th anniversary. If you put out 2 units that respectfully should have been way better than these are, again, these are still probably top 10 units we're talking about here. But, you know, we wanted them to easily dethrone Vegeta, Trunks, Cooler, Carnival Goku. Like, those are the 3 sort of like best units in the game right now. Pretty definitively. If you're putting anyone above those 3, I would be very interested to hear what you would say, but I feel like those are the absolute 3 best units in the game, unquestionably. And everyone wanted Gohan and Piccolo to be unquestionably the best units in the game, you know. And I think at a worst case scenario that we're at least like, well, okay, wait, are they better than Vegeta and Trunks? You know, like, are they better than Cooler? You know, like a little bit. But I feel like when you look at both of these, you go, okay, so these are just right there. You know, and Gohan not having something to do with defense, not having just a built-in constant guard, or a built-in at least like some damage reduction, or some sort of way to get defense besides just his slow build up from additionals. And then also when he supers, post super, he'll be pretty okay. We're about to take a look at all this. But you want a little more in that kit, right, for defense, for the longevity of the unit, right? Like, that's the biggest issue here. So he's going to come out and probably be a top 10 unit. But then we get 8th anniversary on JP, and literally 30 days. In 30 days, we are starting the 8th anniversary. And these guys are probably going to... It's a very good chance that in 30 days, these 2 units, or at least, again, defense is really important. I know we're at a point where defense is just incredibly important in this game. There's a really good chance we see them get pushed out of even being in top 10 units, and especially Gohan. So that sucks, man. You don't want that to happen with the 2 new characters. And I do have to believe that these kits were held back a little bit for probably a couple reasons. One, it's a dual release on global, and they don't want these to just overshadow the stuff they're still sitting on, you know. And also the fact that 8th anniversary on JP is in a month. If they made these do their transformations and be just like bonker, like make Vegeta, Trunks, Cooler, and Goku all just look like nothing. Like, literally, it's when you're doing your tier list and you're like, okay, let me, you know, and you flip to it and you're like, okay, number 1, clearly Gohan, Piccolo. You know, they make their kits just so good, so even out. They're just right there, number 1 slot. and then you go, okay, here's number 2. Really, I need to put a gap. 3, I need to put a gap. 4, I need to put a gap. Okay, we'll start with 5. 5 is where all the 5 is where all the units actually get to start. Like, there's that big of a gap. That's what you'd want. You know, you'd want them to be transforming. You'd want them to have that gap. You want them to be that good. And if they're probably going to be that good, then they're probably going to be just as good as the 8th anniversary. And in this case, in 30 days, we are probably about to get 2 units that absolutely obliterate this Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo in terms of their just actual kits, stats, and everything. So I think that is where a lot of it comes from, just to put it into perspective for a lot of people. But I'll shut up. I'm still excited about them. I just want to like clear that up. I actually, again, the more I watch the Beast Gohan active and the more I just sat here and really thought about it, I'm like, you know, I don't know their situation. I don't know what would happen. I'm sure they wanted to deliver as bad. Like, I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think any developer ever, Legends, Dokkan, Xenoverse, Fortnite, Modern Warfare, all of that, right? I don't think at least the developers ever want to under deliver because they know that you're spending your hard-earned cash on their product. So they never want to under deliver. I think it's just a situation of timelines and time constraints and stuff. And so maybe there was just a situation where with Beast Gohan and I wouldn't necessarily say Piccolo, because they had to make a sprite for Piccolo and they had to do this tax for Piccolo and all of that. But when you're sitting there on, you know, a Beast Gohan that's to transform, especially in LR, that's a 12 key and 18 key for pre-transform, so Ultimate Gohan. And then you got to do the active or whatever they would do to transform it into Beast, which technically they animated that because he does transform into Beast during his active. But then, yeah, you're in Beast. Now you've got to do 12 and 18 key for Beast version, which I'll be honest, a lot of us wouldn't have cared if it was basically the same attacks. They were just skinned with him as Beast Gohan. And then you probably want to do some sort of proper active because it's Beast Gohan and have him probably do a special beam cannon. So I don't know. I don't know if it was a time constraint, if it was surely it wasn't a budget constraint. It's freaking Dokkan, dude. Like, but it could have been. It maybe it was. You know, I don't know. But I have to imagine that they're probably as disappointed with what they had to give us, and they're like, yeah, we probably knew this was coming, and they probably wanted more too. And so with that in mind, and that's not really an excuse for it not being good, but the more I've just thought on Ultimate Gohan and Orange Piccolo and all these things, I'm like, I'm still excited to summon for them. We got new summoning animations. They're still going to be good. They're going to be top 10 use in the game. I'm going to have a ton of fun with them. I'm going to love it when I swipe up and I make that Ultimate Gohan go Beast, and hopefully he does good damage with his freaking active ability and all of that. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm going to have a ton of fun with them. And it is unfortunate that I feel like there's been so much negativity around them today, because I feel like it's going to be hard to actually enjoy these units. Not that I'm going to enjoy them just fine, but I feel like as my enjoyment is then going to be criticized by a lot of people. Like, I can't believe you're having fun with these units. And it's like, well, they're still cool. Like, it's still a new LR Ultimate Gohan. I love my boy Gohan. It's still a new Power Awakened Piccolo with a giant transformation to Orange Piccolo. And I feel like for those of us that will ultimately still enjoy our time with them, spend money, summon for them and all of that, we're going to get criticized for it. And I hate that aspect of it. Anyways, I feel like they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. We're going to have a ton of fun with these units. It's going to be okay. All right. But let's take a look at what people were saying here, because I specifically asked and wanted to see how we were feeling. All right. It's still hype, but super underwhelming compared to the expectations the community had, which, to be honest, were a bit too high. I 100% agree. Again, it's a situation to where we were all anticipating this for months, right? It had been out in Japan since June. It had been out in the States since August. It was a long time a coming. And so to anticipate for that long and then to feel underdelivered sucks. And it's just, it's a problem of, you know, the community, like us all hyping it up and YouTubers hyping it. It's a whole sort of thing. It's a whole thing. And it's just hard not to get hyped, man. You want to see these things be awesome and succeed. So I agree. On the plus side, outside of just the units being meh, I'm really glad they finally did new summoning animations. Agreed. First time in 3.5 years. By the way, I saw some people that were like trying to let me know. I'm aware. Apparently it is just during this, but what is awesome, just during like the collaboration and on these banners, what's awesome about that is them showing us that they'll do that. And I've been saying for months, as I make my sort of like, I have my artists do the cool custom animations you guys have seen on my thumbnails, that is something they could absolutely do. And many people have been like, no, it's gonna always have to be Goku. it wouldn't make sense if it was someone else. And I'm like, the summoning animation doesn't make a lot of sense to begin with. So why couldn't it be someone else shooting off a beam up at the planet thing? Like, you know what I mean? I want to see them do even more though. I want to see them take the planet away. I want to see the cool things where when VB fuses, it's actually Zamasu up top and he's defeating Zamasu. I want to see things where Gogeta comes in and fuses and it's Gogeta versus Broly. You know, I want to see them flip-flop, and I want to see Broly summon. Bro, like, the sky is the limit, man. Summons are how they make their money. We need more of this, but it's awesome to see that they're willing to do that. And so that means we could see custom animations for the 8th anniversary too. So it's pretty exciting, actually. All right, we got Owen. Massive disappointment. Piccolo is cool, I guess. Would have preferred him to be a transformation over Giant. Exactly. I mean, yeah, it's everyone's sentiment for sure. Gohan ruined my hype, though. Expected Beast. Got an Ultimate Gohan who can't even link with a bad link set. Both look extremely mid and in accordance to their kit. Continued. And the lack of transformations, which is what all the hype has been for. And which is what the hype was for, as they are the newest hype thing in Dragon Ball. I agree. Changed the celebration from a 10 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10. Oh, okay. I don't know if I'd go that far. On top of this, the Gammas are not returning. Okay, that is a huge L. I'm not really sure what they were thinking there. Just give us the value on the banners, man. I'm really curious what these banners are going to look like. No Gammas is really, really weird to me. And the fact that I feel like the new pan is better. Yeah. We got the Goblin here. It's an absolute garbage. If Gohan and Piccolo's banners aren't absolute peak, which is unlikely because none of the Gammas aren't on there, I'm not summoning. Interesting. If it wasn't for the fact that we can't play as Beast Gohan and Gohan's kit doesn't seem to be that good, everything would have been extremely hype. Other than that, the animations are sick. New summon animations look cool, and the EZAs are exciting along with the new red zone. 100%. Yeah, I do wish the EZAs weren't those, though. I wish they were Cell and Piccolo, or Cell and Gohan. The only thing is, either way, 8th anniversary at this point, we know is not going to be a Broly unit now because they would have saved that Broly for that. And I want a new LR Broly. It's as I mentioned earlier, like it's a weird situation where that Broly is now 4 years old. And we've had Broly since, right? We've had several Broly since, but not another DBS Broly that is Super Saiyan into full power or just full power or literally anything, you know? And so now that he's EZAing here, that means, I mean, they would have saved that for the anniversary if it was a Broly for anniversary. So that, you know, that part sucks. I won't lie. But yes, it is still exciting. I'm excited to have both those units getting EZA'd. I just hope they're really, really, really good. Like really good. Very unfortunate, but I'm not mad at the units. I haven't seen them in action, but they'll be usable and fun. The animations will be great to see, and I don't think the whole celebration is dead now. Top grossing still coming and fun. Yeah. So I love this. That's yes. yes. That is the best way to probably look at it. Just one of the units to be better. They are Dokkan Festival LRs, and they don't truly seem like that. Just seems like the selling point is literally just superhero instead of the actual quality of the unit, though animations are. See, that's the thing, though. The animations are still so good. I feel like just a couple of tweaks to the kits and it would have been so different. I think it's just timing. I think timing is the problem here, like 100%. This is how I feel. No. Well, okay. They made Tech Ultimate Gohan too good. Like 100%. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they did. They made him too good. The fact that he guards, he stacks defense. I mean, he's aged some, just how crazy some of these events are, but he's still way too good for a unit that released that long ago. It's actually absurd. Yeah. OV LRL taking a oh no. It's hard for me to believe they actually fumbled Gohan, both in terms of kit and in terms of transformation. Piccolo, although the thing I wanted the most was a melee counter, which scene, which they just used in a super attack. I'm actually most fine with him. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's the situation everyone's in right now. Like Piccolo, it's like, man, I hate that it's giant, but also at least he actually transforms, and at least he's like actually a playable character in the game. I think that's the sort of situation that a lot of people and how a lot of people feel about it for sure. Hype is gone, but there's nothing hype coming to global for a few months, so might as well summon now. Definitely saving for Annie. I mean, that is definitely true. Like global has Golden Frieza, who is really good, but you know, it's a the banner's gonna be terrible. Like Golden Frieza is probably like one of the most prime candidates for your coins for sure. And outside of him, I mean, like this new Carnival Goku is definitely, you can skip him for sure. Bardock is good, but probably pretty skippable. Yamcha is really good, but again, probably a skippable banner. Yeah, there's not really any banners that are going to be like, yeah, I want to like throw stones at that. So, I mean, these are going to probably have the most value for stones. Obviously, it's new superhero collab, so Kev is probably definitely right there. I think everyone had their expectations set way too high, and for me personally, my expectations were met perfectly, except for the fact that, like Mini, I expected one of Gohan and Piccolo to be Omega busted, but they ended up just being okay. I'll say I agree with that too, because for the longest time, I'd been on the agenda that I didn't think it was going to be a Beast Gohan. I thought it was just going to be an Ultimate Gohan, because I was still convinced they were going to release as TURs. So my guess was they release as TURs, and they're definitely not going to give us Beast just yet, because now that they didn't, to me, the fact they didn't capitalize on the immediate hype, like literally the movie's out the next day, these things released, because with DBS Broly, the movie released, and like 10 days later, we had them in JP Dokkan. And same thing happened on the global side. The movie released globally, and like 10 days later, we had them on the global side. So the fact that they didn't capitalize on that sort of initial hype, I was like, okay, it's probably about to be a Legend situation with Gogeta Blue again, because if you guys don't remember, on Legends in 2018, we got Broly, and we didn't get Gogeta Blue until 2020. Until the end of 2020 on my Legends Fest 2020. So I thought it was going to be probably a situation where we're sitting on this beast Gohan that is like, where is he going to drop? Is it going to be an anniversary unit? I know everyone kept saying it couldn't be possible, but you know, honestly, if Beast Gohan had been an anniversary unit, he would be transforming and he would be way better. Just saying. Everyone that didn't want him for anniversary, you know, probably a different situation. Why are you acting like being able to play as Beast Gohan is too high of an expectation? So again, though, to come back here to UFO, I agree. I honestly agree. Like for the longest time, but then the problem is they teased it and it was Beast, right? Then they'd be doing these teasers on social media where they were spelling out Beast. And so to do all that hype and to have Beast be such a big portion of the card arts and their hype and build up to this stream today, you think it's going to be a lot more than just an active. But if you take me back a month ago, I still was like, okay, it's probably going to be Ultimate. He's probably going to be a TUR, and they're going to hang on to Beast for later. Now, of course, we know that's not the case. We've got Binato with my only problem is the kits being so underwhelming. I can look over the fact that they don't transform, but the kits, yes. I see, and that's what's also, I meant to say this earlier, that's what's also so interesting about it, is that you would think if they're going to do what they did and make Beast just an active, why not just make the kit so busted? Like I said, it's a single player game. What does it matter? Like, what does it matter that these two units are releasing right now are just like infinitely better than anything before them? Who cares? Like, who cares? Just, they could have been better, but I don't hate them. Still gonna try for Gohan because he's like my favorite character. Yeah, I agree. And yes, and Daniel has a really good point. His leader skill is really good. His leader skill is actually super freaking good. Especially we don't know totally what they're doing with the category. His leader ability is just superhero, but what we're guessing is that it is Dragon Ball Super Heroes. So it's literally the GT Heroes for anything related to Dragon Ball Super. And so if it is all Dragon Ball Super Heroes, then that's going to be an incredible category. And then you're also boosting, was it movie heroes and bond of parent and child? Like that's huge. That's a really, really good leader ability. I think the only problem people will have is trying to run two of him because he's going to be a slot 2 unit. Like no matter how you look at it, he's not going to be your slot 1 guy. Honestly, what they should have done with the character, and I meant to talk about this earlier too, is the Yamcha approach, giving him dodge. Like if you didn't want to give him damage reduction or any way to build up defense outside of course the passive buildup of attack and defense from attacking, just give him dodge. That would have honestly made a lot of people more happy about it too. Plus dodge, I feel like dodge could have made some sense as well. So if they would have given him dodge, he would be a lot better. I don't know. It'll be I don't think there's any way they change these characters' kits, but just from like seeing everyone's reaction, it would be interesting if they did. I think it's like a 0.01% chance of that happening, but it'd be cool if they added something random, like, you know, has a great chance, or not, he wouldn't get great, but he now has like a medium chance to dodge, you know, or something like that. Celebration itself seems really good, except limited new summon animation and a wallpaper reward from a red zone. And I like how Piccolo was done, but they really did Beast Gohan, sorry, Ultimate Gohan dirty. Again, it doesn't bother me that the summon animation is limited if they're going to keep doing that. Like I fully believe that now that they've done that once, as we go forward, we're going to get more. So like the summons will now start feeling themed around the sort of bigger events. So like 8th anniversary will have probably not guaranteed, but I think it's probably highly likely we'll see some sort of like change up in summoning animations and have a thematic summoning animation for the entire 8th anniversary. And then maybe Tanabata will have one, and then maybe like Worldwide will have one, and they'll start doing them for these sort of bigger celebrations. Like obviously when you're summoning on a random yellow coin banner, if those ever come back, you know, or random DFE, probably won't have special animations for those. Would still love to see some new, just basic versions of animations, some stuff like the Zenos and the Whis and all of that, like new things of that. But my guess is we'll start seeing more of this sort of custom stuff. So that, I mean, again, this is all just off of this one time they've done it, but my guess is that's what's going to happen, and I think that's cool. I'm totally fine with that. Like that's been the new Legends approach, where they're adding in these new areas each time we summon. So sure, the hate is fully understandable, but I'm still really excited. I've been wanting new Ultimate Gohan cards since forever, and the Beast Active makes it better because it looks so good. Agreed. Even if he's not that good kit wise, Gohan's my favorite. Again, it's so unfortunate that we've now, like, and I even started this video and I've even said it too, but it's not that his kit isn't good. His kit is fine. It's just not as broken and busted as we wanted it to be. So I still fully believe that when you start doing a tier list on this game in a few days, you're gonna go, wait, okay, so this new Ultimate Gohan actually is like a top 10 unit. You know, I think that's gonna be the situation we're in. We're like, okay, we can't deny the fact that he's not top 10. The issue is that he's not definitively number 1. That's the problem. To be honest, I'm still summoning and whatnot. I am disappointed like everyone else, but my main reasoning is that if it was shown as just Ultimate Gohan and Power Awakened Piccolo, it would have been fine, but they threw Beast and Orange everywhere. Yes. Yeah, it was a miss. They should not have done that at Jump Festa and let us build for a week, actually a week and a few days, into this live stream thinking we're getting this Beast and Orange. They just shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. That was definitely a fumble on their part, letting us sit here and stew and think like, holy hell, we're really about to get like peak. And then it wasn't quite the peak we thought it was and thought it had been being for the last week and a half. Disappointed. Calling it a fumble feels like an understatement. I'm honestly shocked. This should have been an easy dub, and somehow it's a huge L. Like how? You know what? Now that I've said this out loud, yes, they freaking pumped up everybody last week with the tease they did, made it seem like all this was leading towards a transformation unit, especially with those card arts. And now here we are. Huh. Yeah, that's a big culprit of it for sure. Honestly disappointed. I didn't expect a proper transformation for Gohan due to the lack of screen time during the movie, but I was hoping that would be better. So I saw this on YouTube earlier as well, because people are like, why are you so disappointed? He didn't have much screen time. All he needed was a 12 key and an 18 key, which realistically speaking, I don't think anyone would have been so here's a scenario. Let's say the active is just once and it's a transformation. So it was always an Ultimate Gohan, but he transformed into Beast. And he transformed into Beast, and that was he did his transformation that we see in the current active we have. But then he doesn't get another active. You just now are in Beast. That would have been better. And then his 12 key is his kick that he does, which we have in Legends. And then that's his blue card actually in Legends. And then his 18 key is his special beam cannon. That's his LF in Legends. So like, I don't really know. I see people say this lack of screen time thing. I've seen it a lot actually today, but that's the fix. It was so easy. He'd done plenty of stuff with Ultimate, right? Like he was Ultimate and Super Saiyan and all that. There's plenty of things they could have done with that. And then when he's Beast, literally his kick into Cell Max and his freaking special beam cannon would have been plenty. And then honestly, they could have done some cool like fan animation stuff. Like they could have made his 18 key like a Kamehameha of some sorts, and then still gave him another active, and the active was the special beam cannon. So there was lots I feel like they still could have done. And again, I also don't think people would have been disappointed if he had active into Beast, and then Beast basically just did what Ultimate Gohan did, but maybe they just changed the environment essentially, and you were doing it as Beast in a different environment. And then he then had an additional active that was a special beam cannon. So, you know, I think there were definitely ways around this, but the problem now is that they've done the transformation and the special beam cannon in the active skill for this Ultimate Gohan. And I will agree, now we are on very limited like screen time left that hasn't been portrayed. Basically his kick. We got Kami here, still very excited. Just don't understand the thought process for those units. I guess they had to undercut them to make Annie more hype. Yeah, and I said that earlier too. That's what I am also afraid of, is like it was purely timing. I think it was purely timing. I think if these had not released right here, and it felt so scrunched, right? Like it's such a weird timing, because in 30 days the 8th anniversary starts. In like 32 or 33 days the 8th anniversary units will literally be out. So, you know, like if I'm not mistaken, on January 26th is when they will start teasing, and well, they will start teasing even before that, but when they will be truly like, we know the units that are coming, and then the actual anniversary starts on the 28th, and then the units typically release on like the 29th, 30th, give or take. Sometimes like the 31st. It's somewhere in that range though. Like 8th anniversary is so soon. So, and you're dropping a dual LR Dokkan Festival exclusive, like massive celebration 30 days before your 8th anniversary, which is still, as much as people like to think Worldwide might be the bigger one, I think anniversary is still the biggest of the year. Like when you look at the pure just love and care put into kits and animations, I still think anniversary units topple everything year to year to year, because I mean, again, it's all preference when you start looking at animations, but if you really do just look at the gods and the fours, they still have, like, think about everything they have. They do have the active skill transformations, and then also have active skills on top of that after they're already transformed. Like, they have got everything. They've got intros, 12 keys, 18 keys, transformation, 12 key, 18 key, active ability. Like, so much goes, and those animations are still maybe the best animations all year. Matter of fact, this has been and I think, while I'm here, I think another weird thing about this year is, while I know a lot of the community are like, it's cool to give DFE to Yamcha, and it's cool to give DFE to Pan and Captain Ginyu and Raditz, and that is fine, but it's like, there's a fine line between like you needing to sort of like, extremely disappointed, especially with the weird year this has been for the game in general. Ebbs and flows, right? Like you have peaks and you have lows, peaks, lows, peaks, lows. That's perfect. That's how things work. That's how life is. And so, but when you have an entire year of quote unquote like peak units, like you would say, like the, you know, I don't know, Resurrection F like blues, but then their animations are kind of whack. Like their animations feel a little lackluster, right? Like they were a pretty big follow up to what felt like, well, that was actually after Cell and Gohan, but still, like that's one of those units that if the animations had been absolutely murdered on, people would have been a little more excited for, right? But the animations felt a little lackluster, a little, you know, a little sloppy. And we got that, like, I feel like we got that like more than a few times even, where we're just like, huh, what happened with these animations? You know what I mean? And then again, on top of the fact that some of the character releases were at least as far as to like the general audience, least hype, right? If you're core Dokkan, you still care about these characters, but like to the general audience that maybe just kind of sort of pass by Dokkan, like plays Dokkan during the hype, stuff like that, like you just don't care as much about characters like Yamcha. I'm sorry, like you don't, and it's a gacha game where you're spending lots of money on it. Like Yamcha is probably like a pretty easy skip. He's really cool, his animations are great, and his kit is insane, but like you probably just go, I mean, it's Yamcha, like I gotta skip this one, right? For 8th anniversary units, or for next Worldwide, or for whatever is your favorite character, unless Yamcha is your favorite character, that's fine. So I think that's sort of been another weird aspect to this whole year, is like this year's been kind of weird with the releases, kind of weird with some of the animations. Like definitely I feel like there's been more characters where we've questioned the quality of animations than any year previous. More characters where we question whether they were really worthy of a DFE. And it's not so much too whether saying Yamcha is necessarily worthy. I think any main character cast is worthy of a DFE, but it's like, it's weird to give it to something like Yamcha when something like, I don't know, Super Saiyan God doesn't even have it. Like there's not a DFE Super Saiyan God Goku, like just a standalone DFE Super Saiyan God Goku. That does not exist in this game. Like I know there's some transforming stuff, you know, and like obviously the duo units and stuff, but not just like a straight up DFE God Goku. Like, and that's just one of many I could just go down the list of naming of different things and different forms of characters and stuff. And then you've got a Yamcha. So like that's been weird. I don't know. It's been weird. I don't know how else to say it. So you've got a year that sort of has felt instead of like this that it typically is, it's kind of felt like this, and then it's felt like this, you know, you know, and then you finish the year with like hyping people up to then immediately disappoint them. It's just, you know, so Yeah, I think that's part of it. Okay, let's see this. To be completely honest, I think it's going to be fine. Gohan is a huge damage dealer and Piccolo is going to be a defensive god. Yeah, you aren't playing as Beast, but Beast did like 2 attacks in the 4 minutes he was in the film, and Dokkan is always for most accurate from the anime. You're going somewhere with it, but again, there's enough attacks. There's enough attacks to do animations, enough attacks to work on and have enough for 12 key, 18 key inactive. There is. I'm sorry. Keyblade. In terms of the actual units, they 100% fumbled, but everything surrounding them is very solid. So going to summon, but won't go crazy. That's fair. Units are good. Animations are good. Celebration content is very good. I'm overall happy and very excited to get an Ultimate Gohan. Let the community seethe like it always does over every little thing. Okay, I think I will say every single celebration, there is at least something that the community has a bit of a bad taste in their mouth over. But I feel like for once, this one is pretty warranted for once. But in that same like vein here, Garb, I do agree. As I mentioned earlier, I think it's going to be a big swing this time where it's so much negativity that a lot of you that aren't very happy about this are going to let a lot of people also know that you aren't happy about it, but even though they're trying to still enjoy it. And what I will say to you is chill. Okay. Let people enjoy things. It's fine. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Sprack with the animations are great. I think the real problem is for JP players, the anniversaries in the month, and you know those units are going to be hype. More so than the 2 movie units. Global can summon and save. Yes, 100%. In this particular situation, Global is in an like infinitely better situation than the JP players. This is a massive JPL for sure, because you definitely want these units, even though you might feel underwhelmed about them. You want to have them, you know. Then you have to deal with the anniversary coming up in a month. But on Global, you got, 7.5, 8 months to go until, well, 7 basically at this point. We're at the end of the year. So 7 months to go until the anniversary. You're good. And for the most part, I think there might be a Global first this time sometime next year. I think Global's probably gonna get something first, the way the schedule's looking. It won't surprise me at all if that happens. But the way the schedule's looking, that might happen. But other than that, you kind of have an idea of what's coming, right? Bardock, Yamcha, and Carnival Goku. Like, I feel like those are all pretty easy skips for a lot of people. So why wouldn't you just go for them, especially on Global? I am satisfied. I did not expect them to be transformable units. And the truth is that what I liked the most about the movie was Orange Piccolo and the Gammas. So the only thing that bothers me is that the Gammas are not on the banners. Fair, dude. And that is such a fair thing. It's so dumb they're not on the banners. Personally, I'm fine with this because A, I can't be disappointed easily, and B, because they will probably do a different LRBs going down the line. True, but when? True, but when? Kind of pissed because they keep reusing this frame even with the new units. It doesn't bother me. Work smarter, not harder. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty common thing. So like, I think it's, I don't know. I don't think a lot of people don't like this. Let me know, like, what's the issue with this frame? I know people have mentioned a lot, like it's reused a lot, but I actually have seen people that like have an issue with it. Not that it being reused, just an issue with the frame. And I'm like, what's wrong with the way this looks? It looks fine. No? Like, am I crazy? I feel like it looks okay. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think it looks kind of good. I don't know. So I saw it and I pointed, I never actually said it, but like, oh, I like did that like in my reaction video. And I noticed it, but it's fine. The banner can be an ultimate skip. Again, I think if you're on Global, it's not. I think if you're on Global and you have some stones, I say you throw them at it, because what else are you doing? I mean, I guess you could save for 8th anniversary, but man, that's the saving for the anniversary thing. I feel like a stun lock situation, because at that point, like you could technically find a way to argue that during the 8th anniversary, if you don't necessarily like the characters that much, like if the characters they choose are not necessarily like totally perfect for you, you could sort of make an argument of like, well, I'll just say for the 9th anniversary, and I feel like you can really get stun locked into that. So I think this is one of those times, I mean, unless the banner is just god awful, I think this is one of those times where you just summon, like, unless you just hate Gohan and Piccolo's characters, I think you summon. That's just me. I don't like how underwhelming it is, because I fully expect them to just go all in and make an actual beast card. I'm still going to summon in hopes I get lucky. See, that's the thing though. It's such an up in the air situation. I don't think they would have animated that active skill as well as they did and done the transformation and the special beam cannon if they were going to turn around and right away make a beast Gohan. Like, I think we'll be sitting here this time next year with no other beast Gohan. Like, I think that's going to be the case. Samuel with could be better, but they're basically novelty units. I expected them not being the best of the best out there. They're meta. They're just not the best in the meta. Better units are also on that side of the spectrum, in my opinion. Not bad. Could be better, but not bad. I think Pan's going to actually be really good. Like, I think Pan is going to be a pretty critical unit in several teams for sure. And she's definitely going to be really good for having with the actual Gohan. Goten and Trunks are definitely, yeah, whatever unit. But that Pan actually sounds really, really good. So, but I get what you're saying for sure. It's a superhero collab. I kind of get where you're coming from, but at the same time, I wouldn't say they should be novelty. They are the peak of what we have right now of actual new Dragon Ball. So I don't know that I would say novelty. I would say they are peak, and they should have been peak in this game. I'm honestly really disappointed because there's so many they could have used for both of them from their fights, but they limited their animations. Yes, Blue Blaze gets it. Blue Blaze gets it because yes, there is stuff that they could have still done with Beast that they didn't do. I'm cool with it. People pretending that we're never going to see them again is funny. I don't know why they're using Blue Gogeta as an example. Bro was a whole ass LR and made a cameo you can see all the time with the LR gods. Yeah, but then think about the other one. Think about Broly. I mean, yeah, it would be foolish of me to sit here and totally say that Beast isn't going to show up again at some point, because he will. That would be silly to say, but I don't think it's probably anytime soon. Like, I would say the soonest you'll probably see him is in like 2024. I hope I'm wrong, by the way. I really hope I'm wrong on this, but I bet the soonest you see him is 2024. And before he's the Tanabata unit, he's the Tanabata LRDFE. That would be crazy, but doubtful. Dokkan devs designing Beast Gohan's active while knowing full well that the community wanted a Beast Gohan unit. The issue was that the community overhyped itself. With the card arts transitioning to Beast and Orange, we thought it would be transforming units for good reason. I agree, 100%. Those card arts were so deceiving. 100%. It was really the card arts. Like, that realization mid-video was like, yes, the card arts doing their thing. Man. Now, people that are still dissatisfied will still summon. My main issue is the Gammas not being on the banner. Yeah. In my opinion, active skill is a little overblown since Dokkan's gameplay isn't really using characters, more so strategy and watching animations. Still see a super and transforming animation from him, which is all a transform would be. No separate art and second super tech sucks. Plus kit, it's not that special. Okay, that's actually kind of a fair way to look at it, I guess. It's just like, I do like seeing these characters in my box, man. Like, again, that's been my whole thing. I want to see a Gogeta Blue in my box, and I can't do that. So I would love to see it. But technically, my argument there, Beast Gohan being transformed, if Gohan would have been just transforming, I still would not have seen the Beast Gohan in my box. So that, I guess that's not a fair argument at all. So, yeah. Also, I really like setting those arts as like my, my data page, my profile page. So I would have liked to have been able to put a Beast Gohan there, and that still wouldn't have been the case with the way this unit. So yeah, I guess Luke has a fair point there. Luca, celebration okay, but I expected more free-to-play TURs, and if they were going to make Beast just an active, make it hit an insane amount of damage. Yeah, so that's a big issue, is the fact that they do not stack right now, so that Gohan doesn't stack. And one of the reasons why a lot of these characters with actives hit so incredibly hard is they stack attack as they go on. So like, if you've used Tech Pan at all, Tech Pan by like turn 5, 6, 7, 8, she's been on main rotation, she's gonna hit really hard. Well, not actives, but attacks have gotten kind of crazy. Actually, we've seen one of the biggest increases in attack stats lately, like in a long time, I feel like. And so Pan's active still does hit really hard, but now we're starting to see units do that in just basic attacks anyway. But still, one of the reasons why she hits so hard is because she builds attack. And this Gohan builds attack to the passive, but then once it's slow for one, it's just a percentage. And then once he's fully built, he doesn't keep stacking. So the active is going to have a pretty hard cap. Now, I still hope it does a lot of damage, but yeah, Luca brings up a good point. Not having that insane animation do a ton of damage sucks. But I hope we're wrong. I hope once we see it, it's like, what, 30 million? Like, I hope they do something crazy to it, like something we're not aware of. That won't be the case, but I would love to see that happen. That'd be crazy. The first time you use that thing, it does like 25 million or something. Yeah, that would be sick. My honest opinion, or I'm being honest, my expectations were low, so I'm not really disappointed. Piccolo's kit is great and Gohan's is solid, but nothing more. The only thing holding them down is their whack-ass Link set, and it's a shame that they don't transform. With the celebration content, I'm happy with it. It's not little, but not too much in my opinion. It's balanced. I'm excited for the free-to-play units, the new events, and of course the easy of AGL, Gogeta, and Fizz Broly to celebrate the movie's 4-year release of or something. I don't know. That's, I mean, honestly, again, that's totally fair. And I've seen a lot of people that are also like, I really am not the biggest fan of just Beast as a transformation, so this doesn't really affect me one way or the other, right? I've seen that a fair amount of times. Not so far today in this, but I can't get to all these, but I have actually seen that several times. If they didn't advertise them the way they did it, it would have been fine. But when they advertise and tease them as Beast and Orange and don't let the players play as them, it just feels like the devs are just making fun of players. Personally, I'm more hyped for these EAs than the new units. I've seen that a lot too. Way more hype for these EAs, which is also fair because that's been one of my favorite, besides an anniversary like a worldwide or something like that, one of my favorite releases to date, bar none, was the Gogeta and Broly drop. Like, that was so cool. I watched the movie and then got to use them in the game less than 2 weeks later. It was sick. It's wait, what was that? Least Gohan woke up feeling dangerous. Does less damage than the 7th year LRs. Damage oriented unit. Can't tank cell max. No transformation. Carried by height. Better than Vegeta and Trunks. Not in my book. That's pretty good. I like that. Extremely disappointed, especially with this weird year. Let's look at Truth's feed here. Yeah. You and the sad slow wave of an existential crisis washes over me like the plague.
What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house. Take your meal. Do what you need to do today.
What? Hang on, y'all. I did tweet something at him earlier, though. Hang on, I gotta show y'all this.
Well. Yes!
That was a suck. Ever since I watched that, that was in like, I'm like, man, I love that reaction. So I've been like wondering when I can use that. I don't know if that was maybe the most appropriate time to do it, but like, I thought it was funny, bro. I can't breathe.
He is 24 high chance of nullifying keyboard. Wait, that's it? That's all he does?
Oh, where's the rest of his kit? Oh my god, hang on, I gotta like that. Wake up. Oh, LR Power Awakening Piccolo seems quite good. LR Ultimate Gohan is nothing special. Damage, who cares? Oh no, dude. Pan, awesome. I'm very excited. All right, let's see what Garesh said. Imagine trying to throw a basketball into the ocean from a boat and missing. Well, this has certainly been an interesting day. I poke fun at both Dokkan and Legends when they make stupid decisions, but as a big fan of both games, I just want them both to succeed as much as possible. Hopefully the Dokkan team sees our feedback and doesn't try to pull this again. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to change at all. Like, they're not going to change anything on these characters. But it would be cool to see at least like this shape what they do in the future. Like, you know, not making units look like they're transforming in their art and then not, you know, not having them transform in the actual game. I thought this was funny, him doing this. Best playable and controllable character in the game, Beast Gohan. Legends does in fact have a controllable and playable Beast Gohan. This was crazy. I saw this earlier. I have been stockpiling Supreme Kai keys in anticipation of Beast Gohan dropping so I could instantly get him to Rainbow and max link levels for showcases. Was it a level beyond hype for him to finally drop? This has to be the single most disappointing reveal of all time. And that's the video. If you guys enjoyed this, hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe. This was a good time. A bit of a longer one, but I enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.